Good morning, beautiful people. How are we today? Welcome back. How are you all? Okay, so from now till early December, we've got this transit in Mars in Scorpio. And I don't know if you're into astrology or anything, and that if you're not, that's fine. But it's going to be a bit of an angry energy for the whole month of November. So, wow, yeah, great. We had a massive storm here yesterday, crazy hail, everything. But I'm looking at it as a positive. Yeah, I'm looking at it as a positive. Anyway, we're going to have a lovely chat today. We're going to have a wonderful chat. But yeah, if you do feel a bit in November like you're having a bit of an emotional meltdown, join the club. It's okay. Just bring your awareness to it, and just there's a lot of Mars energy and it could feel heavy, and just ride the wave through it if you can, and that sort of thing. So anyway, I've got my beautiful coffee, my gum nut baby. It's very cafe night for Kath and Kim. I'm a big Kath and Kim fan. If you're a Kath and Kim fan, Australian, you should know what I'm talking. No, I don't like the word should. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, find out. You've got to know who Kath and Kim is. Okay. So today we're talking about where our ailments or diseases or, habits stem from. And it's a little bit of a, I hope I'm going to be able to find words today. I need help, guys. So confronting. It's a confronting topic because it's about bringing it back to ourselves and taking responsibility for how we are. And I've got some really interesting, beautiful books here I want to show you and share with you that can really help with this. And it's fun because you're delving into things and finding more out about yourself and about people in your family, relationships. It's really good. So before I get started, if you could like, share, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I love that. And it would help grow our community. And thank you to those people who have. That's lovely. Thank you very much. And those who have commented, I really appreciate that too. Yes, we're talking today about, now my next video, by the way, I'm just going to let you know, is about cleansing your home and getting the environment beautiful. And a lot of people have that natural ability. Some do, some don't. It's not always about that either. But we can use the elements to cleanse. But I'd really love to go through that one with you, because what surrounds us gets inside us. And our environment is very important to our well-being, that it is right. So getting that energy right in the home is really important. And in the workplace and in the car and wherever you live, wherever you are at. Sometimes we're at work. Some people, I used to be at work more than I was at home most of my life. So, okay. So today, yes, we're talking about this. So this is interesting. Have you ever picked up a common cold and, that we just think, oh, yes, you gave me that. Or I picked it up at Woolies the other day and did the shopping, But it is important to look at where our ailments and health problems and things come from. And everything starts with a thought. We think things and we have feeling, and then that creates feelings and emotions in us that can fester. And then our body, which is this very sophisticated machine, it's a very sophisticated navigational system that lets us know when something's going on with us a bit deeper. Okay, so you get a sore throat, thyroid problems. Well, thyroid problems stem from thinking that you're trapped, thinking that you can't speak your truth, and then that festers. You get emotional about that. It grows with emotion behind it. It's very powerful, and then it shows itself and manifests itself into the physical body. Okay. So these books, I want to show you them because they can explain it even, well, a lot better than I can actually. I've had these for a long time, and I absolutely, I don't know, most of anyone watching this probably heard of Louise Hay. I'm a very big fan of Louise Hay. I started my journey listening to her guided meditations, and her thing, she was a simple lady with a simple message, and she was, you know. And this is the first book I want to show you is How You Can Heal Your Life, and I love this book. She goes into detail, and in the back of this book is the list. Now, she had also done a book called The List, and that book is basically that. Okay, but this one, How You Can Heal Your Life, has got a lot of information in it going through so success, prosperity, the body, her story, and that sort of thing. But then at the back, what you can do is, you know, there's everything you can think of in here. So straight at the top, weakness, a need for mental rest. I give my mind a joyous vacation. So what it's about is changing thought patterns. Okay, and you think, oh, it's not that simple. Well, think how much round and round your mind a thought pattern might go that's negative. And when that happens, it stirs emotion within us. And over time, it does manifest itself into the body. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to go, oh, it's common sense. We know this. That's great. Fabulous. But there's people out there that don't know this. And you know what? Sometimes we know this and we still don't put it into action. We still don't do. Guilty, you know. Guilty, you know, I'm one of them. Definitely. And that's the worst part, when you have awareness about it and you know and you're still doing it. But the beauty is it's never too late. It's never too late to turn it around, and it's never too late to change a thought. The minute you change that thought, everything changes, whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought. So, yeah, but I love this book. And her books are so fun and beautiful, you know, and the illustrations and everything. But you can go through, like, you know, dizziness, feeling flighty, scattered thinking, a refusal to look, and then a new thought pattern. I am deeply centered and peaceful in my life. It is safe for me to be alive and joyous. And when you're doing affirmations, which we're going to do a whole nother talk on our affirmations another day, but affirmations, it is so important to say what you want. So not, I no longer, you know, just say what it is you want to be, not what you don't want to be. Because universe only hears what you say. It's like saying to a little child, don't run on the road. They only hear run on the road. So use the words that you want to become a reality. Okay? So yes, I do love this book. Anemia. I had that. I had anemia. So that's a yes but attitude, lack of joy, fear of life, and not feeling good enough. And I had a lot in my life, a lot of time, feeling I wasn't good enough. Yeah. And you know why that stems from? Comparison. We compare ourselves. We think, oh, it starts at school. It starts when we're kids. You know, oh, I should have got those grades. Look what grades they've got. There's that word. Oh, by this age, I should have this much money in this house and drive that car. Oh, I should be skinny as her. I shouldn't have had that cake. You know, so this comparison, when we compare ourselves, it's the thief of all joy. And now there's more comparing than ever because we've got social media, Facebook, even doing this. You know, I started doing this a month, and I said to my daughter, oh, gee, I don't know how to. And she said, Mum, you run your own race and you have fun with this. You enjoy it. This is the youths, by the way. Don't underestimate our youths. They are so much more evolved. And people, oh, no, they're space cadets. They might be trying to escape and go to different dimensions a bit to get away from this planet, well, negativity, but they're very evolved. Give them a chance. Learn from them. I could tell you some stories, but I don't want to get too emotional because this energy is really knocking me around. So that's that book there, and I recommend it. I'll put my hand there and say that. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful book. Most people know about Louise Hay. If you don't know about Louise Hay, and you know what, maybe you don't know about Louise Hay, and that's okay. Now you do. Okay, not everyone knows, but Heart Thought. So this is another one of her books I've had for a long time, and I absolutely love it. So what you can do with this one is you go and you think, okay, I want to know about my inner child, or I want to get in touch more with my inner child. And there's all affirmations for that. Or I want more harmony in my life, you know. And then she's got all these beautiful affirmations. See the little thing, harmony, and there's an index and thing. What's this one? Healing. So I heal myself on all levels, you know. But there's all different. Inner child, I love myself. But you can also make your own affirmations after a while. And they can be very powerful. And affirmations, you add that into your meditation. So the other day we talked, if you haven't watched the video on meditation, please do, because it's only a short video. And it goes through some beautiful steps you can do in your meditations that help with sitting in stillness and doing that and connecting and growing on those connections. And that's when at the end of your meditation, you can, where you're centered and you're aligned, sit there and do your affirmations, you know, and think about, what is it I want to work on today? What is it I want to come into fruition? What is it I want to manifest? Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to sit there and every bit helps, because guess what? Life is, you know, it's a challenge. And the more help you can have, you've got this team wanting to help you, and you've got all the tools within you. Just like the magician card in the tarot, you've got all the tools. You can do anything. But we all need to remember that. I need to remind myself that on a daily basis. It's never done. You're going to learn your whole life. It's never done. And that's the beauty of it. Otherwise, it'd be blooming boring, wouldn't it? Life would be pretty boring if it was all done. So that's that, and I really wanted to show you the two Louise Hay. Now this book, I bought this before I had my spiritual awakening when I think I was only about 25. And so I've had it for like 25 years. And I bought it because I saw it in a waiting room, Annette Noontil. It was in a waiting room somewhere where you wouldn't have expected. I picked it up and I was reading it, so I was meant to find it. And it's the same kind of idea, but this one is very much goes into the whole body, bones, muscles, all the organ, all the chakras. And at the back, she also has a list of ailments and where they stem from. And like I've put a little note in here. What have I got? Okay, I picked something unusual. I didn't pick a normal ailment. I picked alcoholism. Okay. Because that's a big thing. So alcoholism stems from lack of communication with others and worrying about it. Your feelings are hurt because no one values your presence. Alcohol relaxes your ligaments and you lose control of them. So when you can't control yourself, another person is controlled to look after you. So it's about not wanting to take responsibility for self and wanting others to do it, because just wanting to escape, basically. It's a form of escapism. Your liver is affected because you will not learn to control yourself, and that depends on how long you drink that like that. But this is very true. I've seen this before. I've seen alcoholism within my own family, and yes, that is true. I had an issue with emotional eating from not feeling safe, not feeling emotional unrest, and not feeling safe. And so I would eat to comfort myself. And I think there's a lot of people out there that can relate to that. You know, so I had to affirmations. I am safe. I am loved. You know, and just affirming that. And at first, it's like telling yourself you love yourself. At first, it feels, that's a bit weird. And you know, oh, you love yourself, do you? Yeah, I do actually, because you love yourself, you can love others. And where does love? And you think, oh, well, how do I start doing that? Well, affirm it. Like I said, at first it'll feel funny, but after a while it won't. And it'll feel wrong to berate yourself, feel wrong to say anything like other than that. But also, you know, and you think, oh, well, how do you start to love yourself? How do you reside in love? Acceptance. So when you accept yourself, you're residing in love. And when you accept yourself, you accept others. You know. So that's a whole nother story, isn't it? That's a big one. We're only talking about diseases today. So, dis-ease in the body. Okay, dis-ease. So heart's a big one. And I had to bring my awareness to that, because I've got heart disease on both sides of my family. But for me, I understand that heart problems stem from a lack of love. And I've been very fortunate, because everyone in my family that have started having problems with heart disease, it's happened in their early 40s. Well, I'm 50 and I'm all right. I did have a heart scare, but it was when I got to the hospital, because I'd been doing the other day in that beautiful meditation talk we did, I showed you the crystalline white light divine healing energy practice of cleansing, healing your entire body. And I knew when I was in my 40s that I needed to start doing that for my heart. And this is another topic. Sorry, I'm getting off. Well, it's not really. It all goes in. I mean, healing's healing. And I would make particular attention. So when I got to the hospital, because I'd had this pain and this clawing feeling all day, and I got to the hospital and I was a little bit nervous. I was a bit worried, because it was about 6 o'clock at night, and I thought, because it's going to go away. I do my work. And I'm sitting there, and they hooked me up with all the things, you know, the little sticky things, whatever they are. And what's it called? That I don't know. Sorry, I should know the terms. Anyway, they said, I said to them, this is going to come out perfect. And they said, oh yeah, because they knew all my details, and they put the little pills there, and they're all around. And I said, no, it's going to be perfect. And I'm sitting there going like, because I was trying to, you know, and it came out perfect. And they said, we're not letting you go. We're going to have to do this test more. We're going to keep you in. And I said, oh no, I want to go home. I'm one of those annoying people that doesn't want to stay. I have to stay overnight. And I said, oh, okay, you know. And they could see I wasn't happy. And they said, well, we'll run the test again in a couple of hours and just make sure. So I sat there, and with that, because I knew what they were showing me, because I had been asking, has this worked? Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know if I'd cleared this. I still work on it. I still do my cleansing every day, my healing every day. Well, they run the tests again. It was fine. Perfect. And they said, oh, we want you to go and do a stress testing. But I just knew it was fine. Okay, so do your healing work with white light healing. And even doctors are saying now, yes, we can use light to heal. Okay, So do that. But before you even get to that, you can start changing your thought patterns. I've got a really itchy nose now. Sometimes this happens. I get itchy nose. My nose starts to. That can be another symptom of sign of channeling as well, by the way, your nose. Just letting you know. I knows why. Yeah, so anyway, so this book, Heart, love yourself by doing for yourself because you are number one, then you will have the drive to be successful. So it's all about heart and heart affirmations and love. You know, loving yourself. I am loved and I love, you know, looking in the mirror, doing mirror work and saying it. And, you know, I know that this stuff's been around a long time and people have talked about this and talked about it, but it's actually doing it. You know, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but it's actually doing it. And, you know, this sort of thing, like talking like this, there wasn't this when I was younger. No. I didn't even have internet till I was, I don't know, nearly 30. Like, it's only been the last 20 years. I went to a spiritual healer, that for a few years when I first had my awakening, once a week, to talk about this sort of thing. So isn't it wonderful? Now you can come on here and there's all these people that can talk about this sort of thing and you can learn and get information. You know, it's stuff that you already know within you and it just reignites it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And you'll know because it's like, it sounds true to you. It's ringing true. Okay. But anyway, that's that book. I recommend that book too. I've had that for years. Oh, and by the way, any books you get like this, reference books, are precious. My precious, okay? They're boomerang books. So if you loan them out, and I'm all about sharing my good things, but this book, this is not the first book actually. That's right. I loaned this to someone and it didn't come back. So a couple of years later, I bought another one. I put my name on this one. I love loaning things to people. I want to help. Actually, same was with You Can Heal Your Life. I loaned this one to someone and it came back years later because they had my name on it the whole time. And she said, oh, I finally got my own copy. And I said, oh, well, that's lovely, darling. Thank you. I'll have that. Because they're so good, people don't want to give them up. But they do need to get their own copy because they're just great to have in your library. And now my children have copies, you know. And they remind me, you know, sometimes, oh, I've had a funny day, I'm not feeling. And then one of the girls will say, well, Mum, have you looked in that book? What is that stemming from? Because it's easy, you know. I mean, you could work it out, but it's nice sometimes to have a reference book you can go to, you know. And you could say, well, I can do my own affirmations. Yeah, you certainly can. And I recommend that in time because you are best, you know you best and you know what best to do your affirmations. But in the meantime, these ones help and they teach you how to go about it. And all I say with affirmations is always say what you want to be, what you want to manifest, not what you don't want. Okay. And even that comes even with writing lists. You know, when you write lists of what you want, be really specific, but just put what you want. Yeah. So, listen, I hope that helps. And I hope that, you know, but please, if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. Maybe you can teach me something that I don't know about, a particular thing. I'd love that. You know, we're always learning and it's a two-way street. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, so like, share, subscribe and tune in next time for that video on how to cleanse your environment in your home and make it and workspace, You know, your work colleagues might think, oh God, what's she doing now bringing that in? But that's okay. You know, you're creating a beautiful environment so that you're happier and, you know, life can be as smooth as possible. And remember that energy is a bit angry at the moment for the next month. So we'll see how we go. But I wish you all a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time, sweethearts. Okay, we'll see you then. Bye.